This is Professor Michael Chapman. I'm one of the most experienced IVF doctors in Australia. I believe that an important part that I can contribute is to educate patients in relation to fertility, infertility, and all that involves. These series of podcasts help to educate you. I hope they are helpful to you. If you wish to know more, however, I'm more than happy to have you contact me via email, which is profmchapman@gmail.com, or make an appointment to see me on 9138 4222. The other areas, we currently use doses of medication which are not physiological, and we overdose, in a sense, the ovary with FSH to produce lots of eggs, because the ovary is designed to only produce one egg a month. But by using high doses of FSH, we overcome that and produce lots of eggs, which ultimately does result in better IVF success rates. Now, is there any other way of doing it? In the ovary, those eggs were sitting there, but they were very immature. In a natural cycle, they don't move on to being mature eggs. So can we harvest those eggs at an early stage, not use medication, and develop them into eggs in the laboratory that then produce an egg? It's called in vitro maturation. There is work suggesting that a number of units are trying that, and with good results, but they're still not matching a good IVF cycle. So it's not there yet. But that may be a way to go, and obviously that reduces the load on the patient because they don't have to have lots and lots of injections. It also reduces the PBS bill for these drugs, which are not inexpensive. Maybe we'll go down that track in time, but at the moment I would still say that's at the developmental stage. In the laboratory, I think what we're trying to do is mimic what happens inside the woman in a normal cycle. That's what 30 years of work in the laboratory has led to. So what we're trying to do in a dish, in an incubator, is mimic what's happening in the fallopian tube. Because it's in the fallopian in nature that the sperm and the egg get together, and they grow there for 5 days before the embryos move down into the uterus for implantation. So finding the right medium, the right culture conditions, the particular chemicals, the particular carbon dioxide concentration, the particular oxygen concentration, the particular temperature is what the research has been focused on. And we're getting closer and closer to being able to mimic what happens inside the fallopian tube. So that's probably, I'm not sure how much further we can go in that regard, because in terms of creating embryos, we probably do as well as nature. Once the embryo hits the uterus, there are, sadly, a group of women whose uteruses are not going to be suitable to carry a pregnancy, so therefore alternatives might need to be found. And we've got surrogacy is one option, having another woman carry your embryo and create the baby and give you the baby back. But there are researchers looking at the possibility of artificial wombs, where you mimic all the things that go on in a normal situation inside the uterus. I think that's so complex, and 9 months of creating a place for the placenta to grow and getting the placenta to make the blood vessels to supply the oxygen to the baby and the growth of the baby. I think that's science fiction to me. And I don't think I'd be surprised if it happened in the next 20 or 30 years. But you never know. We get surprises.